to Vlognukkah Day 1. I'm not sure I've done Vlognukkah before on this channel. I've done very similar things, but let me just quickly talk you through it. Every year, in the last 10 years that I've been on YouTube, I have done some sort of series. Sometimes that's monthly. Over COVID, it was multiple months. And then other times when I've been a bit short on time, I've done, well, I did do Vala one year, which was like vlog a lot in April, and I missed many days because our internet died. That was very early on. And then more recently, I've also been using 12 days of Christmas. Wrong, because I don't know what the 12 days of Christmas are. And so I was using like the 12 days leading up to Christmas to do 12 days of Vlogmas. But I'm not Christian, as I've established. And I don't know, I feel funny about using 12 days of Vlogmas now that I'm so clearly open about my Judaism. And Hannah Witten, who is also a Jewish YouTuber, has for many, many years done Vlognukkah, which is the 8 days of Hanukkah. And I've decided I want to take that on. Don't necessarily think it'll be every year. I still like the idea of doing a series every year, and to be honest, doing it in like December does make a lot of sense because I have a lot of end of year videos that I want to make, and if I just went with my regular uploading schedule, then in the past it's gone on I think until March. So this might make more sense to just keep at it with Vlognukkah. It's also like the shortest amount of videos because it's only 8 days, but we shall see. I can't remember if I'm doing this based off the evening. I think I am doing it based off the evening of Hanukkah as opposed to the day, but I'm pretty sure I'm going based off the evening. Yeah, in case you don't know, and you probably don't, Jewish holidays or Jewish days start at night, at sunset. So for example, Shabbat will always begin like 18 minutes before sunset on the Friday, and it ends an hour after sunset on the Saturday. And so Hanukkah starts Sunday night, the 14th, and then it goes like so it starts Sunday night. The first day is technically still the 15th, Monday, and then the second day starts Monday night. And so I don't know what Hannah Witten's doing, or if there's any other Jewish YouTubers who are doing it a different way, but I'm gonna go with the night. So that's why it's going up on Sunday the 14th, which also happens to be my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, which is wild. And so even though I do want to make Vlognukkah either like Hanukkah themed or end of year themed, and most of the videos will be that, I do want to take a moment to reflect upon 10 years on YouTube. Crazy. On the one hand, it does not feel real, but then on the other hand, I feel like I can barely remember a time when I wasn't filming and editing and uploading and sharing, you know, my life. I do feel like I had a big turning point around the time I was on the river cruise. I feel like my editing and just everything, my style and way of using YouTube and the video editor that I use really improved. But obviously it's one of those things where it's progressive, and every day I'm hopefully getting better and figuring out new things and making it more exciting. I know not all of it is exciting because a lot of it is just me wanting to share my life, and that's a choice. I know that that doesn't necessarily bring in the most viewers or the most subscribers. After 10 years, I'm still only on just over 500, which is a lot, to be fair. Like, I'm shocked I've even got that many. But I understand that it's not content for everyone, and I'm not making it to reach the masses. I'm just making it more than anything as like a journal of my life. And I'm so glad I have that. I genuinely do go back and watch old videos, and it does make me so happy to have that and to watch it back. And yeah, sometimes the editing's rubbish. Sometimes what I'm talking about is rubbish. Sometimes the actual whole vlog is rubbish. But to me, it doesn't really matter because at least I've got it. And there's just something nice about being able to live in that space. I've spoken a lot, this is probably going completely off topic, but I've spoken a lot about how much I hold on to the past, and I find it really hard to let go and move on and, you know, change ages, my birthday, New Year's, everything. So having something that I can sort of almost dip back into of that period of my life, I really find, you know, it's very good for me. Maybe not mentally healthy, but it feels very good. And also, I feel like my memory isn't the strongest. I'm specifically with like my life. Like when I have to remember things for lines or whatever, I can do that, or tests. But when I have to think about my own life, oh, who's calling me? It's my grandma. So I'm going to speak to her and I will come back. That was a really lovely call, quite long, and I've completely lost my train of thought. I know I was saying something about my life and having it documented, but yeah. Oh, I think I was talking about my memory and the fact that I can't really remember things very well when it's like happened. And so the action of editing footage helps me remember, but then also obviously like having it actually to watch back helps a lot too. And a part of me definitely regrets that I didn't start earlier. I know that I probably couldn't have, but I do wish there were some things that happened, especially when we first moved to Australia, that I would have loved. I mean, I wrote a diary and you know, I've got memory and photos obviously from that, but I do, in a way, I wish I'd documented in the way that I document my life now. But the past is the past, it's past, and we move on. So I definitely don't have any plans of stopping, and I very much plan to continue, and I'm sorry if the videos aren't that interesting. I'm hoping that at some point my performing career takes off and that there'll be more interesting things in that vein. You know, that's still very much what I'm hoping for. But in the meantime, you're just getting me living my life in London and, you know, working through just living and just the ups and downs of life, and especially of like living away from my family, but then also living closer to other family and traveling, and also not traveling too much and trying to balance life, you know, the joys. But I think the thing that's most impressive to me is that in the last 10 years, I have been incredibly consistent with filming and uploading. There's been very small gaps here and there. I think the biggest gap I took was about 2 months, I think at the end of 2016 going into 2017, because I was away on like an 8-week trip. And again, I'm kind of sad that I didn't vlog that trip because it was amazing and I do have such fond memories of it. And I wish like there was so much that I could have recorded, but I didn't. But that's the only period that I really can vividly remember not documenting in the last 10 years and not uploading. But aside from that, I think I've been almost weekly consistent. So that's great. And I'm very proud of that. I can't promise that that will continue, you know, for as long as I'm on YouTube. But for the time being, I'm definitely going to do my best for as long as there's something to share. Now, I know that I hate watching back. Like, I don't hate watching back because I do, as I've said already, I like, you know, going back into that time period. But especially like some of my first videos, they are a little bit, you know, uncomfortable. But I do think on this momentous occasion that we should watch back the very first video and just see. I know in that video, first of all, I spoke about people who inspired me to like start YouTube. So I want to see if I still follow those people, or, you know, if I still feel the same way about them. Or, you know, like where their careers have gone. And also I know I spoke about what I was planning in the channel, like to do, and I want to see if I did all those things, some of those things, I don't know. I just want to have a look. We won't watch the whole video, but just to get a feel for it. And I'm fairly certain I was wearing my big London jumper, which of course I do still have. I definitely wear a lot less nowadays, but it's still in my cupboard and I do still wear it, especially when traveling, because it's very like big, great one for like on the plane. But let's find this video. Oh, and I had my broken finger. So funny. Welcome to my channel, everyone. This is so exciting. I am vlogging and I am starting a YouTube channel. My accent has changed so much. I think across the years it's changed, but it's very different now to what it was here. My name is Kelly. My name is actually Raquel. How can I not have said that? So it only took me about 9 years to decide to change my channel name to My Name is Raquel. I don't know why, I just felt at the time, I can probably say this in the video, I just felt like My Name is Kelly had a better ring to it than My Name is Raquel. It just felt like it flowed better. But I really didn't like constantly having to say my name is Kelly, but actually my name is Raquel. And especially obviously like wanting to try and get somewhere with the performing career, if I can link this channel to my name and potentially if I do get any further growth on here in terms of subscribers, you know, I just feel like that probably is better. I did consider making my stage name Kelly something, but I decided to stick with Raquel because I'm Raquel. I'm not a Kelly. I'm not a Kelly. I've never been a Kelly. I was occasionally called Kelly, which is why that was like my nickname, but like even that wasn't my main nickname, and I'm not a Kelly. Same with all the clothes you see. I've only got a very minimum selection of clothes that I actually like in my cupboard. I am a nerd, I'm not gonna lie, and you'll notice that in my videos as I will be posting things such as favourite books, favourite quotes, favourite words, favourite authors, I don't know. There will be a lot of those coming, so strap yourselves in. Especially a lot of book content, that's definitely like the main thing. The favourite words and other things, that was like very early days, and then I haven't really done much more since. Although that being said, I do like favourites, or nowadays it's reviews every month of the stuff that I've enjoyed. But book content is definitely big, and it's actually, I feel like I've done more of it this year than in past years. DIYs and life hacks, although I don't know how much I'll be able to do with my finger. It's broken. Oh, my broken finger caused me a lot of grief. Yes, DIYs and life hacks, again, that was very early days. I think maybe for the first year that I had YouTube, and then I didn't really do as much with that. Basically, I found that I'm not very good at carrying out DIYs or life hacks, and they don't really work for me. I don't feel I need them, and also I didn't like the money that had to be spent for buying things to DIY, and yeah, very quickly got lost.
I'm going to attempt to do some singing videos, but I don't quite know how to do that if I myself can't play an instrument. But I'm gonna...
Singing videos, oh, we still try, and every year I intend to do more, and I'm getting there very, very slowly. Across the 10 years, I actually don't know how many singing videos I've done. It'd be interesting to look at that, but I've definitely done a decent amount. It's definitely a theme that comes up multiple times in my videos. It's not something that's got lost over the years, but it's more just my own self-consciousness and perfectionism that limits me.
I'm also just going to show videos of me rambling or ranting about things that have happened in my life that have either inspired me or made me like feel really bad or really good. But let me know if you want to see bloopers, because I really enjoy putting them in, because then you...
Bloopers was such a thing in like the American YouTubers that I watched at that time. It was such a big thing, and I did put it in some videos, but not many. I don't know, sometimes I keep the bloopers in the video itself nowadays, and you know, I just like keep in me messing something up and then just start again from wherever I last left off. But putting them at the end, like, I don't know, it just, nowadays I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
First and foremost, I'd probably have to say Carrie O. Fletcher. It's way past my bedtime. I'll leave her link in the description, as well as everyone else. She's just phenomenal. She's so inspiring. She wrote a book, which was also...
I just love that I've been like, a YouTuber, she wrote a book. Which they all did, like, in this period. I still am a fan of Carrie. I'm not, like, as obsessed as I was at this time, but I do still watch her videos. I do still follow her, like, on Instagram and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel she definitely still deserves to be on the list, in my opinion.
Next, Emma Blackery. So she swears, and I don't.
For the record, I still don't swear. That's not, like, a YouTube thing. That's just a me personal thing. I don't swear. I think I've mentioned before that I'm like quite a goody two-shoes. Yeah, oh my gosh, I can't believe I mentioned her. I don't even think I watched her for that long. Like, there was a period of maybe a year or two that I watched her, but I think I very quickly stopped watching her. Actually, funnily enough, I watched a new video of hers like in the last 2 weeks, I think, where she was like dyeing her hair. I don't know, she was talking about, oh, the reality of YouTube or something like that, and I was just curious. It just came up on my homepage. But yeah, she's like a long lost. I don't know, like I wouldn't even say that I was a huge fan of her at the time, so I'm shocked that I've mentioned her here. But yeah, I wouldn't keep her on the list nowadays.
Next, Dan is on fire.
I knew I was going to say that.
Whatever way you want to see it.
Oh, Dan Howell. I don't know like how to phrase my reaction to that, but like it's almost like a pity for Dan, just because obviously like what he's gone through. Not that I really know, because like parasocial relationships, but just based off what he said, and what's happened in the last month or so as of when I'm filming this. Yeah, I did continue watching him, and you know, through the hiatus I was still subscribed to both of them. I wasn't as much of a fan of Phil, but I did like Dan and Phil together, and I don't think I've not, I mean, there's been a couple of their gaming videos that I didn't watch just because they didn't interest me, but I'm still subscribed. I still watch every video sort of as it comes out. I'm listening to the podcast now as well, so yeah, I think Dan and Phil still deserve to be on there.
And I think lastly, I would probably have to say Superwoman.
I knew I was going to say that. I think I'd even not watched anymore by the time I was doing this. She was like 2012, I would say, that I was watching her. And again, I watched a video of hers, not recently, but like in the last few months, which feels recent because I hadn't watched a single video of hers in years. And I'd completely like not followed her. So I had no idea she'd done all these things, like Life TV, I think she had her own program or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'd completely lost track of where she'd gone and what she was doing. Clearly she is huge, or at least was. I did not realise quite how big she was. But yeah, definitely doesn't need to be on the list for me anymore.
Click on my face to subscribe while I talk about Dahlia, who is...
So, couple of things. First of all, I think as far as like the first video I ever posted on YouTube, I don't think it's that bad. It's not great. There are things obviously that I would do different nowadays, but it's not that bad. I wouldn't say I'm particularly embarrassed. As I say, there are things I would say or do differently, but I don't think it's bad. I do think, just the subscribe on my face thing, we used to have annotations on YouTube, which was different to what you see nowadays, like on the end screen. And so there's quite a few videos where I used annotations, including click on my face and including, like, I think in the video after for the books, I can't remember, and they now no longer show up. So in the video of the books, I know that I do like this a number of times, hoping that the name will pop up above, which it did at the time, and it took me so long to edit. And then they just got rid of the feature and what it looked like on the videos. So I'm just doing this and nothing's coming up. But that's just one of the many ways in which YouTube has changed. Yeah, so I don't feel I've got much more to say or to share. I think this is probably quite a long video. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what like the average length of my Vlognukkah videos is going to be. I think it's going to be quite varied because there's going to be a various amount of things. But do stick around, feel free to subscribe if you want. I'm already shocked that I'm over 500, but obviously the higher we can get that number before New Year's, the more exciting it is for me. And then the higher the number we can get in 2026, the more exciting it is for me. I feel like, and I know I've spoken about this many a time, I do feel I would really love to reach the 1,000 threshold, just because that's when you start getting paid, which means that the last 10 years of hard work and many, many, many hours that I have put into YouTube has been completely unpaid. Obviously no sponsors because I don't have enough viewers, and you know, nothing else, which is fine. I do it as a hobby. I do enjoy it. But equally, if I could make even just a couple of pennies from this, that would make me happy. So yeah, spread the word if you think you like my content, and yeah, I would appreciate it. And as always, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from me. Everything up until New Year's I think is going to be pre-scheduled, and even after New Year's. But if you give me some ideas of things you'd like to see, then I can work on them for the next year. Crazy that I'm already talking about 2026. It hasn't sunk in yet at all. But that's all. I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Yay!